What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Monday afternoon so far. This is NYG Jeffy85 here, and I'm going to talk about the Brooklyn Nets and why I strongly believe the Brooklyn Nets cannot entertain trading away both Mikal Bridges and Nicolas Claxton, and why they need to continue with Bridges, Claxton, and a re-signed Cam Johnson as the core of this basketball team going into the 2023-2024 NBA season and beyond. Bridges is coming off a terrific season overall, especially with the Brooklyn Nets, where in those last 28 games or so, he scored about 26 points per game. He averaged around 6 rebounds and 5 assists. His shooting percentage went up when he went with the Brooklyn Nets. He became the number one option on the basketball team. And he established himself as a rising star in the NBA at only 26 years old, going to be 27 later this year. Cam Johnson is another player who came from the Phoenix Suns, also traded in that Kevin Durant deal along with Mikal Bridges. His scoring numbers went up as well. He scored around 18 points per game, averaged about 7 rebounds and 4 assists. His shooting percentage, for the most part, went up a little bit too when he got an opportunity to become more of the primary offensive playmaker on the basketball team, as well as getting traded from the Phoenix Suns. And then we know what Nicolas Claxton did. Claxton emerged as one of the best young centers in the NBA this past season after he averaged about 13 points per game. He averaged around 9 rebounds and about 3 blocks per game for the Brooklyn Nets in around 70 games per season this season. And his shooting percentage was at one point the highest in the NBA, where he was shooting over 70%. But there's been rumors out there about the Brooklyn Nets potentially looking to maybe blow this team up again and maybe trying to go for a full rebuild. In my opinion, I think that would be the wrong thing to do. I think that would be the wrong thing to do, honestly, if the Brooklyn Nets end up going in that direction and they decide to, destroy this basketball team. I don't think that would be the smart decision. I think that'd be counterproductive for the Brooklyn Nets to trade away one of the young players and arguably the face of their team now. But why I see the Nets could do that is they look at this team right now. And you have to think about it. Are you willing to pay Mikal Bridges the type of money that he might be looking for, A? B, would you be willing to build this team around Mikal Bridges going forward? And C, are you convinced that Mikal Bridges, Nicolas Claxton, and a Cam Johnson coming back at around $20 million per season, are they the future of this basketball team? Or do you believe that you can get some of these guys at a high price and trade them away for potential high draft picks and get a bargain or get a good deal for them in terms of draft capital and potential other young players you could build on your roster? The Nets are sort of in that holding pattern right now, and the reason why I say that is because the Nets don't hold a lot of their own draft picks at the moment because they trade them away to Houston. So in a way, the Brooklyn Nets will be doing a counterproductive type move because you don't have draft capital on your roster. You traded that away already. And what are you going to do to supplement the rest of your roster going forward? Who is going to be there to help fill out your stars on the team? This will be so similar to what happened to the Brooklyn Nets after they traded away and got rid of Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Jason Terry. The Nets were in that pattern where they had nothing on the team except for a bunch of role players, and they were just trying to desperately fill out their roster. And that ended up hurting the basketball team going into 2023, or going into 2016 and beyond. The Nets were struggling just to get production from the guys they had on this roster. Now you are able to acquire a young player that is on the rise in Mikal Bridges, a very good young shooting player, a shooter in Cam Johnson, who is only getting better, and you have Nicolas Claxton, who is only 24 years old, emerging as one of the best young centers in the NBA. Are you willing to just destroy that basketball team to rebuild? And you might want to get draft picks, but draft picks are no guarantee in the NBA. You're just pretty much taking a chance that some of these draft picks that you make end up being the guys, when in reality, you have no idea. They could be as much of a mystery as some of the players you currently have on your roster. It would be very, very, very difficult for the Nets just all of a sudden to say, you know what? Well, we think that Mikal Bridges or Nicolas Claxton can fetch us a whole bunch of draft picks, and Cam Johnson, we're not willing to pay him the type of money that he's looking for this offseason, so we're going to let Johnson go. We're going to trade Bridges for a bunch of first-round picks, as well as Nicolas Claxton. We're just going to go for a full rebuild with the roster we currently have. The Nets don't have their own draft picks, so it would be a very, very, very counterproductive move. And the reason why I believe they won't do that is because Sean Marks now is coaching for his job. The Nets have been a team that has underperformed for the better part of 3 years, with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving there, and then James Harden. The Nets right now are in a position where they need to win. And if you're trading away your young assets that you just acquired in the trades for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, what are you going to tell your fan base right now that is already disgruntled with the fact that you traded away two of the biggest stars in the NBA? And your team right now is in a position where you don't even know if you're going to compete this year. What kind of message does that send to your fan base that is already very waning around your roster and is very, very, very suspect of what this team is going to be going into next season? You need players on your team to generate revenue, generate excitement, and generate a reason for fans to want to go and either purchase some products or go watch these games. And if you just tear it down completely, Brooklyn is already one of the teams in the NBA with the least amount of sales in terms of ticket sales overall. And that was with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Now, it's a completely different story. Is Sean Marks and this Brooklyn Nets staff willing to trade away some of their young stars on this roster in order to rebuild completely and take a chance of tanking pretty much and getting themselves some top players in the draft when it's no guarantee they're going to end up being that? The Nets, unfortunately, are in one of these positions that you don't want to be in the NBA, where it's you have to win. You have to find a way to win, and at least you're in that position where the Nets are stuck. They need to find a way to step up and win. Because right now, this basketball team, they're in a holding pattern. I don't know what to expect from the Brooklyn Nets going into this next season. I don't. Nor do I even know who's going to be on this basketball team. They have a couple of first-round picks, 21 and 22 this year. Cam Johnson's a restricted free agent. Seth Curry's an unrestricted free agent, as is Yuta Watanabe. And you have some players that could be on expiring contracts that could be traded this offseason. Namely, a Joe Harris, a Dorian Finney-Smith could be traded. A Royce O'Neal could be traded. And like I mentioned, Mikal Bridges and Nicolas Claxton, they're two guys on the roster that could potentially be traded. I'd be hesitant to make that move, and I think you should build on these two players on this roster going forward. But you guys let me know in the comment section what you think. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and give a sub to NYG Jeffrey T85. More news updates and chatter surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. Turn on the bell for notifications of the next video or short dropping on the channel surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. You guys let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree that the Nets should continue to build around their three core players on the team. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Nicolas Claxton going into 2023-2024 season and beyond. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Take it easy, and let's go Brooklyn Nets as always. It's a Nets world, and we're all just living in it.